Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is the War Train here. Today's video, we are going to talk about Resident Evil 3, The Nemesis. Now, this is a game by Capcom that recently came out, and a year ago, we actually had Resident Evil 2 Remake. Now, Resident Evil 2 Remake was regarded as an absolute masterpiece, and it absolutely was. The game is fantastic. It sticks to the original game. It totally ups the ante with this in-house Resident Evil engine that Capcom has. They've created a hell of a good engine. It just has great looking graphics, and they're able to do a lot of cool things with this engine, and it's definitely versatile. We've seen this with Devil May Cry as well. They use this RE engine, and I think it works really good for Capcom's modern games. Now, the Nemesis, this is a year later, and we're getting the next one. Now a lot of people have came out in the reviews and said that this game is too short, it's too linear, it's not, true to the original story. These are all definitely, they're all things that you could say are true, because they are. I mean, the game is very linear. It also does change up some formulas from Resident Evil 2, and it absolutely does not follow the original story. Some of this stuff is completely recreated. Now, is that a bad thing? And that's what we're going to talk about in this video. So, I have just finished this game. It isn't very long, so it's pretty easy to play through this game. Now, I've heard different things. I've heard people say 4.5 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours. It depends how quick you're going to run through the game and just how familiar you are with, the Resident Evil mechanics. Now, the mechanics are pretty close to Resident Evil 2. Some things have changed. Using the knife, that has definitely changed. Before, you had the knife, it would break as you used it. Now, you could also use that to protect yourself if you were grabbed by a zombie. Now, that has totally changed. You cannot use your knife, or you cannot use grenades when you're grabbed this time. You can't shove flashbangs or grenades in the zombie's mouth or stab them, which I thought was absolutely awesome. I love that mechanic, and I love the fact that you could stab them and you could lose your knife, or you could go to their dead body and pull it out. Or if that zombie has your knife, later you can come back, kill that zombie, and retrieve your knife. I thought that was absolutely awesome, and yeah, that is a shame that they don't have that in this game. Now, they use the knife mechanic a bit different. Now, I found this out from dying. When these zombies do grab you, the best thing to do is, when you get them on the ground and you can feel safe about it because they snatch you up real fast, is to just knife the hell out of them. I would go berserker with the knife. I'd also go to bodies that were laying on the ground, and I would just stab them like crazy to see if they were going to get up, because some of these are planted zombies that are going to get up. They just are waiting for you to get close enough to make them react. So I would run over, stab them a bunch real quick. They'd kind of get up. I'd pop them with the gun, and then I'd stab them again when they were on the ground. to finish them off. Or if I thought they were dead, I made the mistake of thinking they were dead and they'd get me and kill me. So I winded up starting to use the knife as basically the double tap. I would walk over and just go nuts with that knife, just basically carving them. And I was having fun doing that, I gotta say. Yeah, different. A little bit of a letdown, maybe. But still, regardless, it's fun. It's definitely fun to still be just stabbing them. I did, like I said, I did like using the grenades and everything to shove in their mouth. That was such a cool idea. And there's not a lot of games, I can't really think of many games, if any, that did that. So that was really well done in Resident Evil 2 Remake. And like I said, it's unfortunate that they didn't have it here, but there's also things that this game does different that I think are also very fun. Now, it is definitely more action-based, and this could be a gripe for somebody as well. They may like the more puzzle-based survival horror. Some people like more of the action style game. And I think this is somewhere right in between. There's some puzzle elements. They're not too hard. They'll slow you down for a little while, but they're easy enough to get past. Nothing and no way near as expansive as some of the ones in Resident Evil 2. I mean, the main part of the game is basically a giant puzzle, and that's trying to get out of the police station. I mean, that whole police station is basically one giant puzzle. So you definitely do not have anything like that. Now, there is parts in this game that are really cool. How the story intersects with Resident Evil 2. That I really like. Now, this is basically a prequel in a sense. It takes place ahead of the events of Resident Evil 2. And I want to say some of the stuff at the same time. But, wow, how they set up certain things. Like, for instance, there's a part where you're at the police station, and some of the zombies that winded up dropping or that are there in Resident Evil 2, just like that were already sitting there and stuff on the ground that never get up or anything, they actually fall to that spot in this game. And you kind of see how people got massacred, and I thought that was awesome. Now, you cannot board up the windows or any of that stuff. That was another really cool aspect in Resident Evil 2, but you don't have those hordes of zombies coming at you like in RE2. This takes place ahead of time, so the virus is current and people are being infected as you're playing. So there's still a lot of live NPCs. So that also gives this game more story, more dialogue, more characters. So in that sense, it's kind of a plus. So there is give and take here. So it's all pretty much what you like. I think it's more personal opinion. There is a lot of consensus that a lot of people like the RE2 style. And you know what? That game is absolutely a masterpiece. This one I don't think is too shabby either. As far as like the story elements, I think the story was cool. I enjoyed it. Now, some of the things kind of reminded me of other stuff, like maybe other movies. I did get a little bit of some Aliens vibe, especially kind of towards the end. I don't want to spoil any of that, but if you play through the game, you'll kind of see that. But there were some parts near the end that just the look of it had that Aliens look to it. Now, we have some similar story beats in this one as far as, the enemies basically morphing and changing into, bigger creatures and just, more vile and all that stuff. We had this in Resident Evil 2 with the scientist. That was his deal, is he kept kind of mutating more and more through the game, and you kept battling him, and after you'd fight him, he'd come back, and maybe he was a bit uglier, a bit bigger, maybe have a bigger eyeball or another head growing out of him or just whatever, and by the end of the game, you're fighting this foreign beast. I mean, the guy looked like a damn monster from, like, Doom or something. So you kind of get some of that again in this one. So there's some similarities here with that. You know, but I do feel that the story was pretty strong. I think it was very well voice acted. I never, was like, wow, that's kind of cheesy. I really did like the writing, and I thought one of the things that when you play this that you got to do is you have to read all the notes that you find through the level. Or all these stages. I feel like, the literature, the notes, the newspaper articles, just anything like that. I feel like it gives you a lot of awesome information. Like maybe this one part, for instance, you're in a hospital and you're reading a nurse's notes, and she's basically explaining how she was finding things out about maybe Umbrella, or how she confronted a scientist and what the things he said to her, or what happened to her as she was dying, things like that. You're getting some really raw detail, and the stuff is pretty raw. The way that the characters speak is very realistic. I really appreciated that, because it definitely seemed like things that people would actually say. It didn't seem fully scripted. Especially seems like things people would say in these scenarios. But going back to graphics, sound, the game looks phenomenal. Resident Evil 2 Remake looked phenomenal. This one looks a bit even better. They definitely refined the engine a little bit. As far as reflections and stuff, there's a lot of that goodness there. Now, in RE2, there was a lot of digital noise in reflections. There was almost like a digital shimmer in certain areas. Like, especially in the police station, I was definitely getting a lot of that. And I was playing that on an Xbox One X, and I played this on an Xbox One X. And in this one, I got some of that same digital noise, but not to the extent as RE2. I mean, that game had a lot of that, and I don't know what does that. Something, with all the real technical stuff, but it definitely was distracting really bad in Resident Evil 2. Not as bad here. Even visiting the same places in the game, as far as the police station, I wasn't seeing that nearly as bad. So I definitely like that they did some work on the engine, cleaned it up a little bit. As far as the characters, they look great. The models definitely look a step better than they did. The character design, I thought was really cool. I think the Nemesis looks freaky. One of my favorite characters in gaming. He's just so daunting looking, and he kind of always reminded me of a Terminator, because he just keeps coming. And it was cool because Mr. X was like that. I did hear a lot of stuff. People were disappointed that he didn't come at you like Mr. X in this game, and he doesn't. He's not always following you like he was in RE2. This one, he's more of like cutscenes and boss fights, which I thought was fine. I still got a little worked up when he got there. I did get jump scares from this game and all that kind of good stuff, so that was good. I don't know how many times I didn't know a zombie was behind me, and they gripped me up, and I just kind of jumped real quick, like, damn it. And I really enjoy that. I thought that was a lot of fun. I was laughing a couple times out loud to myself when that kind of stuff happened. But this game probably took me, 7 to 8 hours. I really took my time with this. I read every piece of literature. I wasn't just trying to rush through it. I wanted to totally enjoy this game and take and soak up everything it had to offer as far as the single player campaign. Now, I did not try the online stuff. I'm probably going to check that out, but I just focused on the campaign, and like I said, I did finish it, and by doing that, you unlock some options. You basically get like some currency that you can buy different perks. You can get another outfit for Jill Valentine, or you could, get like maybe some more slots to hold weapons, or you can get these tokens that you can actually use to regenerate health, or attack stronger, or have a better defense, and you can double them up, and you can actually also get some other weapons that you can buy. I thought that was cool. I actually got Jill Valentine's other outfit from Resident Evil 1, and I also got a gun that is basically a gun that was handcrafted for her. So I thought that was really cool that you could do stuff like that. And I hope they do something like they did with Resident Evil 2, where they added stuff later, like the survivor stories. I thought that was absolutely awesome. Or ghost survivor stories or something. That was absolutely awesome. I did really enjoy going through those. They were pretty hard, and you can unlock cool stuff by doing those. So I'm hoping that they do like a free update again like that, because I had a good time with that. So that's yet to be seen. I'm not aware of any of that stuff, but I wouldn't be totally shocked. But overall, I thought the game was great. I had a blast playing it. I would recommend it. It is a little short, I gotta say. That could bother some people. So if you think the game's too pricey, and especially for maybe a 6-hour game, wait till it gets a price drop. It will get a price drop. All these games wind up getting one. I mean, now you could probably get Resident Evil 2 for like $30. It probably ain't even more than that. And it's totally worth it. That game's great. And I'm sure this will have the same. And the game's absolutely worth $30. I didn't mind paying $60 for it. I just wanted to play it right away because I was waiting for this game, especially when I finished Resident Evil 2. I was ready to play this. So really glad that they made this. But, let me know what you guys think. Did you guys play this? Did you pick it up? Are you going to pick it up? And, are some of the reviews that came in, are they discouraging you? I listen to them, but I always take that stuff for what it is. At face value, I mean, whatever. Everybody's got a different opinion, what somebody may think. Maybe I don't feel the same way. And yeah, I agree with, some of the negative things they said. The game's a little linear because it absolutely is. I don't mind that because that means I don't have to spend a lot of time running around in the wrong spot. I don't always want a huge open game. I do sometimes like a linear game. I have no problem with that all the time. I just don't like when every game's like that. I play so many different games that I'm getting plenty of variety. So it's fine when I get a really solid game that looks great, sounds great, plays great, and is not 100 hours long where I can just get in, have a great time, and get out and move on to another game. I'm fine with that because that might make me want to jump back in that game and play it again just because I know I'm not going to dedicate part of my life to playing the game. But definitely let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And if you're not subscribed, think about subscribing to the channel, guys. I try to put gaming content out like this as much as I can. I really appreciate you guys stopping by. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. But that's it, guys. I'm the War Train, and I'm out. Have a good one, guys.